What's up, Lashinistas? Welcome to the show. This is the LivBay Podcast, where we talk about the ever-growing eyelash business. If this is your first time listening to the show, this podcast is dedicated. Welcome. This podcast is dedicated to helping you grow as a lash artist and or lash business owner. So whether you work for yourself or someone else, this podcast is for you. Hey guys.
This is Shauna and Mike Jones. We are the owners of LivBay Lash. Stop. Our heart is to share with you guys our uphill battle in this lash industry and to show you what started out of a tiny bedroom in our house, extremely broke, has turned into an 8-figure company. We are here to encourage you during your lash journey and to give you guys a real raw version of what things really like.
Yeah.
In this episode, we're going to be talking about lashing faster, but first, we're going to go over our class dates.
Yep, we got some class dates coming up. We're going to be in Denver, February 1st, Vegas, February 8th, Hawaii, February 15th, Chicago, March 1st, and many, many more. Make sure you go to livbayclasses.com to get all the latest updates and info. We got VR classes coming up again, March 2nd and 3rd. We have our online platform, which is livbaycourses.com.
Yes, our membership is $99 a month. You can cancel at any time. You get 2 free full tutorials per month, 1 live with Mike and I. You have access to Mike and I. So whether you're just like a lash artist just starting out or you are a business owner, you get a ton of value no matter what. You're always able to get your questions answered by us.
Or your answers questions. We will question those too. You get 1 free gift per month. You get 20% off products. And it's just amazing. Amazing value. Yeah. Last but not least, we're in Canada.
We are so excited.
LivBayCanada.com. If you live in Canada, order from there. No duty tax.
Yes, amazing.
We've already gotten clobbered on the duty tax. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. We took it for you.
Yeah.
Also, follow OB Manufacturing on Instagram if you are interested in private labeling your own products. That is where to go. So we have lash cleanser, primer, bonder, cream remover, gel remover. Minimum order quantities 300. We have glue and lashes coming soon.
We'll
so
send you
excited.
Samples if you'd like. Put your little logo on the bottle.
Yes, $20 samples, free shipping, amazing. And we're so excited because we're going to have lashes and glue made in the U.S. If you've been following our journey, we've been talking about this since 2019, and we are finally ready to make it happen. So
our formulator's working on some great new eco-friendly stuff too.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's pretry cool stuff.
Best quality,
wait to see our new lab we've built.
Yeah, it's insane. So stay tuned.
All right, tips on lashing faster. Take it away. I'm going to have a lot to contribute to this one, by the way, because I lash so fast.
Yeah. No, so I get all of our ideas through our amazing Facebook group. And there's so many questions people ask about like, hey, I'm a newer lash artist and it's taking me forever. How do I lash faster? And I've said this before.
You can't give up. No, I'm just kidding.
End it now. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, everybody in this industry wants to flaunt their work and talk about how amazing they are. And, oh, look at this set I did. And, oh, I conquered this wispy set and all that stuff. But very rarely do you have people like talk about like, hey, like it took me forever to lash faster. It took me forever to like learn how to do this set. So it's important to remember as a new lash artist, or if you've been lashing for a while and you're still stuck and it's taking a long time, this is all about practice. This is all about patience. And not every single person is going to be on that same like wavelength. People have different learning curves. And from doing trainings, I think we've seen like there's some people who pick it up like literally during the class. And then there's some people that will text me 6 months down the road and they're like, hey, listen, like my work is still awful. Like I'm not getting it. So you just have to remember that like, don't get frustrated because everyone's on a different like learning curve, and that's okay. And you really have to be patient with yourself. But there are things that you can do to, speed up the process. Number one is you're only as good as your tools. So you definitely want to play around with, different brands, different tweezers, different lashes. A lot of people go to easy fans when they start lashing, because easy fans are just easier ways to make fans. They can be frustrating because sometimes they get blocky on the end if you pick too much. Sometimes you pick too much up all the time because they are so easy. So also sometimes it'll prevent you from making your own handmade, which can prevent you from really making different sets and customizing different sets, because narrow fans are great for strip lash look. Like there's so many different things, but you can lash faster just by finding like the perfect pair of tweezers for you, And sometimes when you are just starting out, every single tweezer will feel like a piece of shit, basically, because you're just not that good. So you don't know what to look for. You don't know like what you're doing.
Yeah, you haven't found the sweet spots.
You haven't found
these tweezers suck.
Yeah. So there's so many different things, but you have to find your groove. You have to find your supplies. You have to find like your perfect lashes. So when shopping around, just grab a tweezer from here, grab a tweezer from this brand, get mixed trays. Don't get all single trays, because you want to know how to practice with short lashes and you want to be able to practice with long lashes. Because if you're pinching or you're pulling from the strip with an 8mm, those are so short, they're so stressful. And so it's good to get a mixed tray. Most mixed trays go from 9 to 15 or 8 to 16. So it's good to kind of switch it up with your products. Different methods, like we have a great video that Angelica did for inner corners and kind of like layering methods with an iPad. Those are amazing things.
That's a good point.
Those are amazing things. I wouldn't say they're like, it's cheating. It's just making your sets more custom and helping you get to stubborn lashes faster.
That's a super good point, because I think one of the biggest things we see, like when we do the lash class,
is like the inner corners.
Inner corner, people will keep trying. They can't get it. Just keep trying. Like 30 minutes will go by. Or worse yet, they'll put a lash on, that one lash that it won't adhere to, and it just keeps falling, slipping. And instead of going, stop, go back to the other eye and put another one over there, they just keep trying. So I think that was a really good point with the angles and the layering, how to get the different lashes. Those are great little tips and tricks to get you through the process faster. Good point.
Yeah. Also learning like how to use glue. Like adhesive is one of the most important things when it comes to lashing. And if you don't know humidity levels, temperature levels, wiping the adhesive with foil, how to shake the glue side to side, not up and down to prevent the cap from sticking, how long to shake the adhesive, you're going to have a huge holdup with just your adhesive alone. And that's going to hold up your sets. So you need to really look into like the science the best you can, which we have amazing videos about, like getting a hygrometer and how to distinguish what your levels are in your room, because everybody goes to like the weather forecast and like, well, that's my humidity, my temperature. And it's like, no, it's totally different in your lash room. And if it's not matching the glue you're using, then your glue is going to be so stubborn and it's not going to be sticking, and you're going to get frustrated. And a set that could take, 2.5 hours is now taking 5 hours. So it's really good to educate yourself if you didn't learn that in your training class. That way you can, make your sets faster. So you're not dealing with like a finicky glue. I mean, most glue's finicky anyways, but if you can troubleshoot that, then your sets will be faster. Also on like a business side of you, like let's say you're just, you've got a flourishing business and it's just you and you're just working, 9 to 5 or 9 to midnight or whatever, and you have a steady clientele and you're just starting to get burnt out. You could lash faster by getting someone to work underneath you. You can expand your business. Maybe that's, because realistically, lashing faster, you're making more money. So let's just say it's just you and, you're to that point where, hey, maybe I could bring on someone. Then you can bring somebody underneath you, and that would bring in more money because you'd be able to take more clients and you can groom that person to be like a mimic of you. And then you have that money coming in. I think that's...
here's the thing. Lashing faster basically just means how can I make more money?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it on the head. At some point in time, after you've learned how to pull back, layer, hit inner corners, outer corners, different tools, things that work quicker, faster drying time glues, you've done every possible thing you can possibly do and are as fast as you can be. Yeah, the next layer of this thing is hiring somebody. And when you hire somebody, you're going to be strategic. You're going to have to find somebody who is personable and can engage the clients, because you're going to have to slowly trust sending some of your clients to them. And if they're just like a deaf mute and they're just like sitting there, they're not engaging the client, there's going to be no relationship built. And that client's going to go, no, I just want to go back with you. And they're not going to, it's like sending my kid off with the new nanny. It's like, no, mom, dad, don't leave. Mm-hmm. Once they get around the nanny, you're like, oh, the nanny's going to take you to the park and they're going to do this thing and fun. And you're like, oh, yeah, I like new nanny. But you have to do that with the person you're hiring too. Make sure that they're able to engage, get the customer client with them, because it's a new face, new person doing it. They got to find out about you, like learn this whole history of each other. The other thing is, at some point in time too, you're only going to be able to take a certain amount of clients. And so you're going to slowly find out that by hiring person 1, person 2, person 3, that's just more money coming in that you're getting a taste of. Do you know what I mean? Across the board. And, you can dial them in too. You can teach them the tricks of the trade, how to lash faster, but eventually you're going to have to get to that level to where you can do it. And it's going to be the next phase of making more money as well.
Yeah. The main thing is like you have to be patient, because I see so much that people get so impatient that they're really they're ruining their work, like lash integrity. You don't want to begin to get bad habits or get sloppy, poor isolation, because all you're going to do is just damage your business. You have to stay patient, because I remember as a lash artist, when I was learning and I was even just doing free sets, I would get so impatient because I constantly be timing myself. I used to time myself. Like, that's how sick I was.
Your own worst critic.
Yeah, you're your own worst critic. Because I would time myself because I was so damn broke. I was like, okay, well, if I do this many clients in this amount of time, then that, equals X. So, but I was putting so much pressure on myself that I would just literally produce sloppy work. And sometimes I'd be so frustrated with like isolating, especially like curly lashes. I'd be like, oh shit, screw it. I'm just going to put this one on 2 lashes. I don't care. Like, you just get to the point of like impatience, and you become so impatient. Impatience, not a word. And you get so impatient.
It is now. We did that. Boom.
Yeah.
Deal with it, Karen.
Yeah. You get so impatient with yourself that it starts to produce sloppy work. And then you don't even have to worry about how long your sets are taking, because you don't even have any more clients anymore. So you really have to just remember to be patient. I think that.
And be clean.
And yeah, just the cleanest work. And when we hire new people, it's like, they set their times. Like, I have a girl that's been with me for so long and she still takes 2 hours on fills. Are you yawning?
Sorry, my coffee wore off.
Okay. She still takes 2 hours for fills, but
I'm up all night with the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
No, listen, I had a stressful night, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
When you're stressed out, you know how it is. It's just like
Problems.
Yeah. Problems. What? Problems.
All right, you're excused. I forgot what I was saying.
About the cleaner work. This girl who's been with you forever,
yeah, and
she still takes 4 hours. She sets her own times.
She still takes 2 hours for a fill, and I'm okay with that because her work is so flawless, and she's so OCD about getting every lash, and like never gets complaints. And people will sit in that chair because they know the quality of work is like to die for. So
yeah, we had a girl when we first opened that she would literally do fills in like 45 minutes, volume fills. And we were like, how in the hell is she doing that?
Yeah.
And she was just in there stacking
stacking lashes. Yeah, you find little cheat ways. And if you don't have anybody like looking at your work or double checking your work, like if you're a salon owner, then it's great because, oh my gosh, they're so dark and full, but like you're not really looking at like the isolation, and it ended up being just like a hot mess. So there's little cheat codes that people do, like stacking lashes, which is like sometimes they'll stack classes, like classics. They'll put like multiple classics on one eye, like almost like as a fan, but then they'll make it really narrow so it looks really dark and full, so that people think like, oh, mega volume, I'm getting them so full, and it's like a hot mess. Or extra glue, too much glue to make it look dark. We've seen it all, but the thing is,
you know all the tricks.
I do, yeah. I used to do that.
I've had some real shitbags work for us. No,
yeah, me. I'm that shitbag. I'm the shitbag. I'm kidding. So, but also, like, if you are working for someone who's like, hey, you have to do a fill in an hour, like, ditch it, because that's too much pressure. Especially with COVID guidelines now, like, we have to put a buffer on each client.
Yeah, we had a girl take our class. A couple weeks ago?
Yeah,
at the Vegas class, and she said the salon she works at. In LA.
Oh, yeah.
The salon she works at in LA.
That she's working at right now.
Yeah, that they made her, that she has to hit these time thresholds. And the owner's like, if you can't do it in this time, then no, you can't take clients. And so it's like, so they're rushed. They're not lashing every lash. They're just skipping over.
And they don't have policies about like 50% coming for a fill or anything.
Yeah.
So she's like basically doing a full set in like an hour.
And so what it does is it puts added pressure on your lash artist. If you say, hey, you got to have this amount of time done, puts added pressure. It puts added pressure on yourself if you're trying to do it and, clock that time. And if your turn times aren't up to par at that point,
sloppy
adjust your
work.
turn. Yeah, it's sloppy work. Adjust your turn times. Like, because clients are hip now. They know.
Yeah.
6-7 years ago, you could pull the wool over someone's eyes and they'd be like, oh, they look nice because they look full. You didn't know if they were twisted, they were clumped. You know what I mean? There's just so many things you couldn't tell, and it made sense because it was lash extensions. But now you go out and people are so used to getting them done over and over. They've been educated by their lash artist, and they see when it's crap work or when it's been rushed.
Yeah, absolutely. But also at the end of the day, it's like you should really like love your job. And if you're like literally under that much pressure, like I get anxiety thinking about that situation. Like I couldn't imagine working for somebody and them being like putting that pressure on me. Like that's not even enjoyable. And like the name of the game is to do this for like you have a passion for it, not just the money. So if you're doing something and you're pressured and like, or if you're doing it to yourself, like you need to fire yourself. No, I'm just kidding. You need to not work for companies that are making you do that because realistically, you're not producing at your best. And it's not fun. And like, you don't really want to be doing a job that you hate. So
that's a good point. As long as you're passionate, got to be passionate about it.
Yeah.
If I told you guys some of the offers we've ever had on our company that we've turned down, you would go, what in the f is wrong with you guys?
Yeah.
But we're still passionate about it.
Yeah.
That's why
so
we're
we
still
turned
here.
many down. We're kicking ourselves in the ass for it.
No, that's why we're still here.
That's another episode.
Yeah.
But yes, stay passionate, stay patient, stay persistent. Oh, that's
stay
good mom
vigilant.
advice.
Stay vigilant.
Yeah, that's a mommy coming out of me.
All right. Good episode. Cool. That's all we got for you guys today. As always, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our podcast. Make sure to sign up for our Facebook group, the Lash TEA. Lots of good tips and tricks. If you haven't had a chance to, make sure you follow OB Manufacturing. Got a lot of great stuff coming there. And if you know anybody else that can greatly benefit from this advice or tips or tricks, please refer them to our world. We don't charge a fee for this. Our fee is simply to help empower others and grow this thing as a movement. Until then, we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you.